Alright, welcome to the first of many videos highlighting my training for this, I guess we'll call it contest cycle. I plan to be doing the America's Strongest Man under 231 September 18th, and that will be over in Las Vegas, and I have potential contests August 2nd and August 30th, I believe. I'll have to double check on that date, but August 2nd is the Mid-American in Illinois, and August 30th will be in Phoenix, Arizona. It'll be a Iron Games or Iron Wars event. I can't remember the exact federation it is, but it's a hybrid of strongman and CrossFit. I don't know the events quite yet. I'm kind of waiting on that, just seeing and double checking that I'll be healthy enough. My primary goal for this training cycle would be to go and repeat as America's Strongest Man under 231, because once you've been there, you know, that's the only place to go. So this is just the first week, kind of an introductory week. Nothing too insanely heavy, nothing too insanely tough. Just making sure my body's kicking really well. For those of you who have been interested or worried about my back, it's actually been getting better and better, and I will tell you exactly what happened with it. I was on the phone chatting with Dimitar Sevatinov, as we do once every couple months. We, like to touch bases with each other, and he's he's a good friend of mine, and he's asking me, "Oh, how's your back doing?" And I said, still giving me kind of a lot of grief. And he told me, well, maybe you should train it more. Not in so many words, but he introduced the idea that I should start working on some hypertrophy work. And I thought to myself at first, like, no, my back needs rest. And then I thought after that, I was like, well, I mean, I guess I could work, because that's probably the only thing I haven't tried. So I started doing direct back work with standing good mornings, seated good mornings, and back extensions, as well as some abdominal work, which is a bunch of the stuff that you just saw. And wouldn't you know it, about 2 or 3 days later, I'm feeling fantastic, and now going on 2 or 3 weeks later, and I feel better than I have since before the injury. And that injury was in March of 2013, so that's pretty incredible. I'm stoked about it. Right here I'm tossing some keg, I would like to toss that keg over this huge hammer throwing fence if I could before I head out to Mid-American. I know Johnny Wasiko is going to be out there, and I know he could throw a keg over this. I've seen it in person. He's probably the best keg thrower I've ever seen in real life. It's just like, to watch him throw kegs is pretty intense, pretty amazing. But just wanted to catch everybody up on that. I do have just one thing to talk about, and that's sustainability. Now, a lot of guys want to train really hard. They want to make sure that they're getting the optimal progress out of their training cycle. They want to make sure that they're right at that pinnacle of getting as much as they can out of their training. But more recently, I've come to the conclusion that you need to dial it back just a little bit less. And the reason being, if you're aiming for that optimal gains zone, you could call it optimal gains. That's a fun one. If you're aiming for your body to get the maximum benefit from training, you're not going to get right at that perfect point. You're either going to fall on one side or the other. In my training more recently, I've intentionally fell on the side of undertraining, because if you fall on the side of overtraining, you're overtrained, you're not making as much progress, and in addition to that, you're putting yourself at risk for injury. If you err on the side of undertraining, you're simply a little bit undertrained, and you can still be training very hard, you can still be making great progress. It's just you won't run into as many injuries because your body isn't quite so stressed. It can heal from what's going on. And so training programs really need to be sustainable in that sense. And if you plan to make a lot of progress, if you plan to become great at whatever sport this is, whatever sport that you're interested in, you really need to make sure that you can keep training that sport. And the best way to do that is to stay healthy. Again, this is speaking from experience. I know what it's like to not be healthy. The last 14 or 15 months have been plagued with, I would say, just one injury. It hasn't been a fun experience, but it certainly has been a learning experience. And I always tell people, if you can pull one lesson out of whatever painful or harmful experience that you go through, then it's just a matter of how expensive that lesson was. And in this circumstance, luckily I was able to still compete here and there. I was still able to rally my body to be healthy enough to retain a title last year for America's Strongest Man under 231, and I'm pleased about that. But I haven't made incredible progress, in my opinion, so I'm looking to change that now. Going back to the video real quick, here's a little back and forth medley I made. I still have yet to get my hands on a dumbbell and a keg, which will be, this event is mocking a Mid-American event just a little bit. I think that's all I got to talk about today, so thanks for watching. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this video series, and next time I plan to be talking about a couple other things. Talk about Shankle.